Dallas, CJ. Miles admits to some bias as a proud Dallas native, but he doesn't think the greatest Mavericks player to ever lace them up, Dirk Nowitzki, gets his proper due. I mean, he changed the position. At the time, there was nobody like him, Miles told Postmedia in a chat after practice in downtown Dallas on Saturday afternoon. And now there's a lot of guys who have grown and been able to kind of take his pathway and do some of the things he was doing, but he's incredible and I still think people don't talk about the playoffs he had to win that championship enough, Miles said of the 2010-11 triumph over LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh and the Miami Heat. Finals MVP Nowitzki averaged 26 points and 9.7 rebounds, helping the Mavericks wipe away years of playoff disappointments with a long-awaited championship. He was an animal. It was insane the way he played, Miles said, and the way he has always played. He was just hard to guard. He shot the ball from behind his head at 7 feet, making him nearly impossible to guard. It didn't hit the rim. Nowitzki, now 40 and in his 21st season, has not definitively said he will retire at the end of the year, but he's only averaging 10 minutes a game and has struggled. That means Sunday's game could be the last time Miles and the other Raptors face the living legend. Nowitzki has averaged 21.6 points and shot 43% from beyond the arc in 32 career meetings with Toronto. He has been playing nearly as long as the Raptors franchise has been in existence, joining the Mavericks just minutes after Vince Carter became a Raptor. Nowitzki owns just about every mark in the Mavericks record book and sits 7th in NBA history in points, closing in on Wilt Chamberlain, who he should pass before he's done. Nowitzki also leads all big men and sits 11th in league history in made three-pointers. It has been a heck of a run, and Nowitzki, thanks to his resume and his welcoming demeanor, is clearly revered by many current players. You can sense that when talking to Danny Green or Miles about him. It was a hell of a time playing against the guy, watching him when I was a youngster and being able to play against him and being able to call him part of the fraternity. Green told us on Saturday, somebody I can speak to, say hello to, and he'll acknowledge me with respect. That's pretty cool. We had some good battles when I was in San Antonio, Green said, especially we had a playoff series against him. I had to guard him some in the post. It was just tough because he's 7 foot, shooting over guys. Then, Green said with a laugh, it's hard to come up with a good Dirk memory. He was on the other side. The ones that were great for him were not great for us. Green and the San Antonio Spurs. Raptors head coach Nick Nurse recalled being stunned by his first glimpses of Nowitzki at the Germans' coming-out party, the 1998 Nike Hoop Summit. Nobody knew who he was really, Nurse said. It's almost impossible now to be that age, and that good, and no one knows you now, and it was like, oh my god, and I just remember being there and everybody going crazy about this guy Dirk. It was pretty cool, he said. It was over after the Hoop Summit. There was like 15 GMs trying to sign him somehow after the game, and it was like, wait a minute, we have to draft him first. When Dallas nabbed him, Miles was a big Michael Finley fan, but quickly caught on to what Nowitzki could do. Miles broke into the NBA in 2005-06, the year Nowitzki averaged what would be a career-high 26.6 points per game, and led the Mavs all the way to the finals and a crushing loss at the hand of Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat. Having skipped college to go straight to the NBA, Miles regrets that he was denied fully getting to enjoy Nowitzki's brilliance. It was crazy because I made the jump straight from high school. It robbed me of being a fan of him for like the big years, Miles said. He was ahead of his time, Miles repeated, pointing to the fadeaway, one-legged shot Nowitzki perfected and has since seen copied by half of the league. It's become like a staple. Guards do it. People practice it in the summertime now. I just think his competitive fire was something I loved about him too, Miles said. You always saw that passion, that energy, that scowl. They didn't call him dirty for no reason. He was nasty, man. I mean, he is. Obviously, Father Time is undefeated, but there was nobody that was like him. Nurse has full HOUSEDALLAS. All of a sudden, Nick Nurse has a lot of options. With the Raptors getting healthier than at just about any point all season, that means there will be nights where good players don't see the court, as was the case with DeLon Wright in Friday's loss at Houston. You guys know how it is. You lose by 2 points and, well, why didn't you play DeLon? If we won that by 2 points, nobody would be asking that question. Nurse said of pushback on Wright sitting out, but I get it. You can't play everybody. And like I said, it's the guys, for me, that are going to bring it, and it's DeLon still included in that group. There's still some opportunity for guys to prove they are going to bring it, defend the way we want, execute the game plan the way that we want, play on the balls of their feet on offense and not on their heels. Step into shots, take them and make them. Play with some serious aggression, passion and commitment to being in a rotation of a really, really good team. Nurse was speaking for any of his reserves. Not everyone can play, so everyone will have to bring as much as possible to the table to earn a place in the rotation. Having other players out has helped the team evaluate many things, according to Nurse. Like personnel, rotations, what we can do, what we can't do, who we can count on. All those kind of things, he explained. I'm sure we're going to have some more guys in and out due to injuries. But yeah, we got to now know that who is going to play as tough as we need them to play. Who is going to execute like we need them to execute. We need to execute like we're capable of, close games or not, at both ends of the floor. Those are the things you are going to start tightening up or focusing on. There appeared to be good news for the Raptors on the Danny Green front. The starting shooting guard jammed his left hand on James Harden's shoulder against Houston and got it checked out on Saturday, but he was listed as probable for Sunday's tilt against the Mavericks. Ryan Wohlstats TIPOFFRAPTORS at MAVERICKSTODAY, 7 p.m. TSN 1050SCOUTING report. Dallas, 22-26, has exceeded expectations, largely thanks to Luka Doncic. Young point guard Dennis Smith Jr. is back in the lineup and they are still trying to figure out if the two players can coexist. The team has had some issues shooting and struggles to take care of the ball, but is strong on the boards, with DeAndre Jordan doing his usual work. Dallas has won 2 straight following a 2-game losing streak. Only 2 teams have a better free throw rate of offensive possessions leading to free throws than Dallas, and the team also keeps opponents off of the line well. Dirk Nowitzki only plays limited minutes at this point. Marquee matchup: Kawhi Leonard vs. Luka Doncic, who might win the Rookie of the Year award in unanimous fashion, was gifted to the Mavericks by other clubs who didn't believe he could match his success in Europe. Oops. All the 19-year-old has done is average 20.2 points, 5.3 assists and 6.8 rebounds per game. Earlier this month, he became the second youngest player to ever notch a triple-double. In short, he's a load to do everything forward and an ideal successor to the great Nowitzki. He hasn't faced many defenders like Leonard, however. Did you know, Toronto has an Eastern Conference best 14 wins against the West, including a 116-107 win over Dallas back in October. Kyle Lowry and Leonard both scored 20 points in that one, and Jonas Valanciunas was strong as well. The Raptors get 3 days off after the game for only the second time all season. Toronto is looking to avoid losing all 3 games on this trip. Dallas is 16-6 at home against the Raptors.